Hello and welcome to the Animated Dudes podcast. I'm your host, ShadeX. Now let's get animated.
Woohoo!
That was very loud, but now I'm very pumped up, so it worked.
Yes, we have a guest with us. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, hi, my name is Dan. I run the Dan the Man Show YouTube channel, where I just post really whatever I want to post in terms of videos, reviews, countdowns, whether it be animated related or game related. I'm working on a big Treehouse of Horror video right now, just taking a long time to get that out. I also run Adult Swim Out of Context Twitter account, huge Adult Swim fan here right now. And yeah, that's basically me. I've also been voted the best ShadeX lookalike. And I'm very proud to receive that honor.
All right. Well, we certainly have. Well, actually, I could. Looking at both of your profiles, yes, I can definitely see the ShadeX.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I changed my profile pic.
Oh yes, right. You can't see it right now, but I believe Shade changed your profile pic to a snake.
Yeah, it's an OC I found that based on a Persona quiz I took for some reason.
All right.
I'll flash that on screen. One of my friends drew it. Shout out to Kyron, but yeah, back to the podcast.
Right. We have some news things to talk about.
Yeah.
Like a new Gendy Tartakovsky show on HBO Max.
Yeah, I'll click on that link.
What's that all about?
There's two coming to HBO Max. A Tiny Toons reboot and a show called Unicorn Warriors Eternal, which is a cartoon by Gendy Tartakovsky. It's a 6th series he's created for Cartoon Network.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm very interested in whatever this is. I don't know what it is, but just from the poster alone, I'm very interested. I mean, you could have sold me just saying it was Gendy, but like now that I see the poster, it looks like something I'd be interested in.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be it's a more general audience than I mean, like, it's still for an adult audience, but I mean it looks more like it's not on Adult Swim, it's on HBO Max, so I think they're aiming for an Infinity Train type audience.
Yeah, I love it when cartoons aren't just action comedy or action comedy. I do like the era of mystery in like some of these latest shows.
Yeah, I will say though, based on the poster alone, it kind of looks more like it'd be more. And this is again judging the looks first because I could totally be proven wrong. It kind of looks like it'd be better suited for kind of like a graphic novel, and I kind of want to read it now. If it was a graphic novel, just based on the art style and the shading and a few things here.
Is it mostly the shading on that big bronze guy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm getting such graphic novel vibes from it, and I kind of want to read it. But I mean, that's great because Hilda was a graphic novel, and it got turned into a TV show, and I love Hilda. So, if this goes the other way around, turning it into a graphic novel when it comes out, I am all for that.
Oh, yeah, Gendy did. I remember Gendy did a Luke Cage graphic novel.
I remember that,
I think it was a mini series he did. I got the collected book of it. It's really fun. I really liked reading it. Like, Gendy should do more comics.
Right?
That?
I'll go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can go ahead. It's fine.
Well, I was just gonna ask: is there any plot synopsis for either of these?
What was the other? Besides the unicorn, what's the other thing you're talking about?
Tiny Toons reboot. Okay, I'm gonna look. Unicorn. Okay, it's an inclusive series for all ages, produced by Cartoon Network Studios. So this is different from Primal, which is for an older audience. But it's about a team of ancient heroes protecting the world from an ominous force. Throughout history, unicorns have symbolized the virtuous appearing to ensure their goodness reigns. And the heroes reawaken, they find themselves in the body of teenagers, and then they don't know who they are.
Multi-plot points.
Yeah, it's yeah, they have to protect the world from people. I'm paraphrasing it, but
Of course.
they need to protect the world from darkness, and they're in high school, so it reminds me of Symbionic Titan, kind of.
Yeah, I can definitely
But
see a bunch of Symbionic Titan in this.
Yeah,
But
I was gonna say, based on the thing that he said that it was gonna be like for a general audience, I'm assuming that they're taking the Symbiotic Titan approach.
yeah,
So, also this character roster here, it looks like we have the Bronze Giant in place of the Iron Giant, a floating elf man, girl that's going to get a lot of fan art, and a boy with telekinesis, it looks like.
yeah.
I have seen the future, and it looks exactly as you might expect it to.
So how is the robot and elf boy gonna go to high school? Well, they'll probably have disguises, I assume.
I'm also the little boy does not look like he's high school age.
It could be one of those
Then
things
again,
where it's
he's
like they
upside
skipped a
down and
grade.
floating, so who knows?
Yeah, he's upside down and floating.
It's just, I'm very much looking forward to this. I cannot wait. For what I mean, honestly, anything that has Gendy's name on it, 9 out of 10 times, it's gonna be a banger. Hotel Transylvania now is standing. That just depends on your opinion, though. It doesn't really, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But yeah, that other thing, the Tiny Toons University, right?
I feel like
Tiny Toons. They're bringing back Tiny Toons.
Yeah, and I feel like this is going to be a direct correspondence to the Animaniacs. Because like those two are hand in hand, sometimes making fun of each other on the air.
Yeah, the thing with Animaniacs is Hulu grabbed that before HBO Max was a thing, so that was smart of them.
Yeah, that was relatively smart. I'm looking forward to the Tiny Toons reboot as well. That being said, I'm about to drop a hot take on your podcast stream, so be wary, viewers. But it's kind of hypocritical when you see people so excited for stuff like the Tiny Toons reboot and the Animaniacs reboot, where like a month or two back, people were criticizing things like reboots and saying that reboots shouldn't exist and reboots shouldn't overtake original property. And I know that this is a hot take as well, but like personally, I was excited for Ren and Stimpy to have the reboot that it was going to say. I hate John Kay, but seeing as I had no involvement from John Kay, I was excited for that. But it seemed like if you showed any excitement or positivity towards that online, you were called out for that. So, and then seeing, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I think it's more the intent behind the reboot. I know money is always a driving factor, but like, and also history is a thing. You can't really reboot Ren and Stimpy without people like opening old wounds of John Kay. That's just kind of tied to him forever, and you can never separate it. And that's why I feel people were like really hard on the Ren and Stimpy reboot. And
I understand that specifically, but then you had people going off of that saying, yeah, reboots kind of suck. People shouldn't reboot things, like these kinds of things. And they shouldn't reboot and have more original properties. And then, like again, with the whole Animaniacs and Tiny Toons thing, like people I've been seeing nothing but positive reinforcement for that kind of thing. And I'm just like, is there not a double-edged sword situation kind of here? Like, I understand, like, I understand, like, I'm taking the not popular side, but, like, I don't know. It just seems like, I understand, like, yes, John Kay is a terrible person, and if you don't think that the show should come back because it has ties to John Kay, absolutely, I 100% agree that yeah, I would also not want the show to come back. I don't personally think that, but that's just different mindsets. That being said, if you don't want the show to come back because you don't think that reboots should overtake original content and original programming, that's kind of where like a little bit of hypocrisy comes in. Like, do you see what I'm saying?
Sort of. But like I was saying before, I think it's about intent. Like do you like compare the Animaniacs to the Powerpuff Girls reboot, like 2016 I think it was. And how everything was like mishandled and the spirit of the original series wasn't there. There was barely any violence and the girls were made to be more marketable. You could definitely tell what the intent was. Whereas Animaniacs, I haven't seen any blatant like toy placements, or like they're trying to use the Tiny Toons as an actual cartoon, not a driving force for product.
You mean Animaniacs?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, but it's also like I don't know if you saw the trailer from a while ago, but they literally said
Oh yeah, they did make a sellout joke.
yeah, they didn't make a sellout joke, which is fine. They make sellout jokes all the time. I'm not saying like I'm not putting that against them. I'm just saying that we had next to no information about the Ren and Stimpy reboot, yet people were shitting on not only the idea of the reboot, but not only the reboot, but the idea of reboots itself. And again, if you want to tear apart the reboot, that's totally fine. I'm not going to be mad if you tear apart the reboot. I'm going to be mad if you tear apart the reboot because you think that reboots are ridiculous, and then also go ahead and are totally fine with something like this. I understand, like Animaniacs. I understand because we have more information about that, but we have like almost next to no information about Tiny Toons University or whatever it's called, and now also this Darkwing Duck show. We have like next to no information about this. I mean, and again, I'm excited for all of these things. I'm excited for every single one of them. I'm also excited. I was also excited for Ren and Stimpy. I feel like it's a double-edged sword. So like, I understand where you're coming from, but like, you kind of have to sort of see that there's a little bit of hypocrisy when people are mentioning this online. I love all these people, don't get me wrong. Well, most of them. But you know, sometimes I feel like it's just, oh, I'm glad that you're rebooting this thing that I like, but now you're rebooting this thing that I don't like. Now this is where reboots are a problem. Or
Well,
at least
the thing is, like with a reboot like that, or with a new series with something that you hate, it's also an opportunity. It's like maybe they can do a good version of this time. Because like I remember a lot of people were like He-Man, or not He-Man. What was the one that like Thundercats? Thundercats kept getting rebooted over and over again. There was the anime one. There was like the classic series, the anime one, and then there was another one with Legos, I think, and then there was this new one.
Do you count Chima? I mean, I know, like...
I definitely count Chima. It's lion people with magic.
Yeah, no, okay, that's fair. Okay, so then, yeah. Chima is, like, the only one out of all of those where I think that was legitimately, like, a scummy move. I think Chima was, like, the big... I also love the Thundercats roar. Well, I think it's actually pretty good. I wouldn't say it's, like, my favorite or anything, but I actually really like it. I know a lot of people don't, but a lot of people don't watch it and make assumptions. And you know what they say about people who make assumptions, you know.
Yeah, like me and ShadeX watched it, and we were very underwhelmed, to say the least.
And that's fine. You watched it. You gave it a chance. You thought, you know, hey, based on what I'm seeing, I don't like it. And that's fine. I watched it. At first, I wasn't a fan of it. I wouldn't say I wasn't a fan of it, but it wasn't, like, selling me. I watched a few more episodes after the initial run, and I eventually kind of sold me. I was hooked. Well, not hooked, but like I got more into it. I don't. It's just, I guess it is more of a case by case basis. But point being, I just think it's stupid to hate on reboots. I think yes, money, like if they're doing it for money, that's kind of a reason to hate reboots. But then basically every single reboot is doing it for money. Even the ones that are artistically trying to keep up with the original source material.
Yeah,
Like
and there's nothing wrong with a
Animaniacs.
company trying to make money.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the company trying to make money,
Yeah,
absolutely.
there's not.
But then don't just say like, yeah, this reboot is only here to make money, because every reboot is there to make money. It may not be the only reason, but that's the case. Sorry, you were saying?
Shade?
Reboots, yeah, they are to make money, but they're good at reimagining things or recapturing old things. Like the Animaniacs reboot is like basically the show's just back. Like they brought back the voice actors. They may have brought back some writers. I'm not sure. There's new people involved that I know, but they I like how they base the designs on how you remember them, not how they actually look. Like, I think that was a quote someone even, like, working on the show said.
Yeah, I think I remember them saying. I think I remember hearing that they said something along those lines.
Oh yeah, the thing with the Tiny or not the Tiny, yeah, the Tiny Toons reboot was that or is that it, judging by this one little piece of promotional art, they might be going the same route. Is it the same people? Is there any crossover in the crew?
I don't think we have enough information. That's the thing. I don't.
Because I'd love to see them do that thing they used to do where they would pester each other from their respective shows.
They could, like, do a joke where it's like, Hulu's better, HBO Max is better.
Yeah, but I feel like that there's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, there is.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, although I feel like that's more of a...
That can't be helped either.
I feel like that's more of a studio or a streaming studio problem than a production studio problem. I feel like they would do it anyway.
Or no, they could do a gag acknowledging that, but like not saying which is better.
Oh yeah, not a which is better joke, just like poking fun at the Tiny Toons themselves or the Animaniacs.
Like where it's like I gotta like Yakko or goes on the show and it's like I gotta go home. And then he just goes to HBO. He goes to Hulu or something, like a bus that says Hulu. I don't know. They could have gags like that if they do crossover.
Like Yakko talks to Wacko and goes, "So, buddy, what you doing?" "Oh, just checking on an old friend." And switches over to HBO Max and pulls out Buster. He's like, "So, how's it over there?" I've seen better." And then just pops back in or something like that. Oh, they could do like a pseudo Zoom call through a streaming service. That could be a thing.
Yeah, because Amblin's working on both. Like, it's the same Warner Brothers Animation and Amblin. I don't think Cartoon Network Studios is involved with the Animaniacs. I mean Tiny Toon. Cartoon Network Studios is involved with that. So I think there are some different studios involved, but Warner Brothers Animation and Amblin, I think, are also involved with the Yeah, they're involved with the Animaniacs reboot.
Oh, speaking of Cartoon Network, Adventure Time Obsidian got announced.
That's
latest adventure in the after series, before a series. I'm not sure what the whole thing is. What you would categorize Distant Lands as, just like side stories, maybe?
I think it's more like a sequel series.
Even though the first set was technically a prequel.
It's more of an anthology series, I guess.
You could call it that. This one focusing on Marceline and Princess Bubblegum, which, yeah, everybody saw that coming a mile away.
I remember I was watching Adventure Time's finale. Like, this was 2018, yeah. And I was watching it with Lori, my friend Lori, and Chris, but Lori saw Princess Bubblegum and Marceline on screen. She's like, kiss, kiss, kiss every time they were on screen. Then they kissed, and she was happy.
Yeah. Considering where this falls or what I saw them doing, I feel like this is after the events of regular Adventure Time, but I'm not sure how far into the future, because those two are pretty immortal, aren't they?
Who?
Oh,
Bubblegum and Marceline. Yeah, they've been around
so.
a long time.
Like, I know Marceline is pretty immortal since she's a vampire, but I'm not sure about Princess Bubblegum since she does show signs of actually aging.
No, she was like around like when there was Finn's ancestor, right? And Finn's ancestor like served under Bubblegum too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, cause Finn's like, wow, you're old, Princess Bubblegum.
Just so blatant.
I haven't watched much Adventure Time, but I'll probably binge it sometime.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice to see like this story, because there's some like more hints to like Marceline's past again, and we might see more of Simon.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I wonder, like, after Obsidian, who do you think the next side story will be about?
The next
I think
one's
they
about
confirmed
Finn.
it's Peppermint Butler.
Oh yeah, Peppermint Butler as one. Then after that, Finn and Jake. That's like the finale.
Yeah, that's
they're not
that's the
focusing on
last
Simon at all.
Yeah, so that's one thing that was weird to me in the trailer. So for some reason, I don't know why they. Maybe we'll see it, but or not. I don't know. It's weird that it's not going to be. It wouldn't be brought up with the Marceline thing because they have such a strong connection.
Well, maybe they're just like holding off in the trailer footage because it's like important plot stuff.
True. I guess that makes sense.
Though it'll be weird that we didn't get to see Simon's new adventures after the events of Adventure Time, because that was like the whole thing had a really big impact with him in it.
Yeah, and even
come back. That was a big deal in the finale.
So I'd love to see like what would happen next.
Same. I would love to see what happens next with Simon because legitimately, I think he might be the most interesting character in the show, honestly.
Definitely. Like, it all started... Well, a lot of it started with him. I don't know if all of it, but most of, a big chunk of it started with him.
Yeah, I think I honestly think he's a driving force behind the show. I would go that far because I think his character arc / story / redemption is legitimately a really good one. I think he's one of the best ones.
Definitely. He's a really, really good character.
I wonder if he would accompany Peppermint Butler, since peppermints are known for making your mouth colder.
That'd be an interesting take.
Just like an excuse.
I would like to see that. Well, I just hope that they have him in some way, shape, or form. You know?
Yeah.
That being said, I have no idea how distant in the future this is going to be. Seeing as Finn is a kid, he could be dead.
Well, I mean, the last episode was taking place in the far-flung future.
No, I'm saying in this Distant Lands thing. I don't know how far into the future this episode Obsidian's going to take place, but he could be dead, legitimately dead.
Oh yeah.
Now. Because he is a middle-aged human from a really early time when his body wasn't able to adapt to a lot of the things that modern-day bodies are able to adapt to in terms of a lot of things. So they could just take that route of him being dead.
Although, I believe his last scene was in Prismo's box. So, and time stops there, right?
No, his last scene was actually in Marceline's house, with Aunt, whatever her name was. I think that was after Prismo's box. I had to rewatch the finale.
Yeah, he was out. He got out of the box, and he was like, "Who's his girlfriend? Susan or
Betty?
Betty, yeah, Betty." It's like Betty leaves and comes Glob.
Oh
And then
yeah, it could be like Simon chasing after Golb and trying to get through to Betty again.
Yeah. Yeah, because
But like the fact that he knows how to
Betty,
get into Prismo's box means that he could be just going back and forth, attempting to wish for Betty again.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just see what happens with that. I'm kind of hoping they don't cancel out the Lich either. I think the Lich was one of the better characters too, and I'm kind of sad that they dropped the ball hard with the Lich recently.
Yeah, he's voiced by Ron Perlman. I remember seeing an interview, and the voice of Finn, Jeremy Shada. Yeah, he said that he was like fanboying when I think it was John DiMaggio too, but they were fanboying about Ron Perlman being on set.
Ron Perlman's a great voice actor. I mean, I think it's plain and simple.
Yeah, Ron Perlman's great.
Moving over a little later, Adult Swim's been doing a bunch of stuff. I say stuff in very general terms.
Yeah, some good.
Some good, bad. Some not so good. We'll talk about that. But first, like the Adult Swim shorts. I'm no shade. You saw Opal and the shop pop opera.
Shop a pop opera, yeah.
Yes, that's so hard to say. I watched both of them today, and they were really good. I liked it. There were some really good songs.
Yeah, really good songs. I've been listening to the soundtrack on repeat.
Yeah, I was thinking about listening to it again before the stream started, but I just kept asking myself, do I need it?
That was terrible. Terrible pun.
Thank you very much. I will be here.
I also like the paper towel song. That was really good.
Miss.
That was I think out of the 5, or wait, no, there's a lot. Okay, so I think out of the 5 main ones, I'm not including Cheese and Finale. I think that's its own thing. I think the odd ones are the best. I think Milk, Paper Towels, and Coffee are the best ones. I think Artisanal is fine. Yeah. Actually, I think Artisanal is pretty good. I'm not a big fan of Oatmeal. I'm just gonna say that I'm not a big fan of Oatmeal.
Yeah, Oatmeal's really it's a pretty generic song. Not bad. None of the songs are bad.
Oh yeah, even the ones that we don't like as much, we still like because they're really good.
I mean, yeah, I think Milk is a really good one too. I think depending on the mood, and again, Cheese and Finale are also like in their own kind of thing, like. The puns and Cheese, I could listen to those puns all day.
Yeah, it took me a few listens after like the initial watch through. I was like, wait a minute, how many puns did he actually make? Let me go back and look. And then he made even more puns that I didn't pick up on the first time. I was like, oh my gosh, you cheesy. Ah!
Yeah, it is. Jack Stauber is a man of many talents.
And also on the slightly darker side, Opal.
Oh, Opal.
The beginning and ending number, respectively, very it set me in this tone of okay, I'm gonna be uneasy for the next few minutes.
Yeah, like I expected it to be like a regular. Well, I told myself like, oh, I'm not gonna cry. Then I cried at the second viewing.
Like once you realized what everything was, how everything was going on and what was happening.
Yeah. I don't normally cry for those kinds of things, but I was tearing up a little bit by the end of it. That was such a... I think that might be one of, if not my favorite animated thing of 2020. Not gonna lie. That might be like up there.
Yeah, it's really good.
It is good.
I could just... I know the... what is it? The Mirror Man song back in my head. That instant classic. Although that one, I would say like... I think there's more of a debate as to which one is the most popular. I think it's between, or which one's the best. I think it's between Mirror Man and Breathe.
Yeah,
they're both great.
I like Breathe. I like Breathe, and I also like the jingle from the beginning and end.
Oh, absolutely. I think that one was great too. I wouldn't say there's any bad songs in I
Yeah.
wouldn't say there's
Oh
any
yeah.
bad songs at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. What surprised me at the Opal soundtrack is all the music is there, although like even the non-lyrical stuff, but I wish the original Opal track was on there because there's Opal Reprise. I mean, they're the same song, but still, I would have liked it to start with Opal and end with the Opal song. That was a weird decision.
It might have been like an
Yeah,
allude to what the short is actually about.
yeah, that was just a whole thing. I'm glad that they released an extended version of Dance. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset they didn't release the trailer song. I really wanted to hear that trailer song in high quality. That would have been
Oh yeah, yeah. They could have had that too.
yeah, that would have been great.
Now moving on to something slightly darker than that. Venture Bros got canceled.
Yeah,
Dan, you had a lot
yeah.
to talk about regarding something similar or something around this.
So, in terms of the Venture Brothers cancellation, in case it isn't clear to anyone out there, um, please, please, please do not harass Adult Swim about this. They have made it very, very clear that this was not their choice and they want to continue it. I am, nothing is confirmed, obviously, but I am willing to bet a lot that this is 110% AT&T's fault. I have been against this. I've been against AT&T's decisions for a very long time now in terms of how they're treating Warner Media, especially Adult Swim. So basically, yeah. In case you didn't know, bring back Venture Brothers. This was like back in September. Um, that there are a lot of Venture Brothers fans that aren't extremely vocal, but I saw a lot of people being vocal, especially about this. And that's because there's something about the Venture Brothers where out of every show I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot, the Venture Brothers has such a tightly wound and unique continuity, almost to a fault. In fact, I might even say to a fault due to the amount of hiatuses they take. Like, if you think Steven Universe hiatuses are bad, it is nothing compared to Venture Brothers hiatuses. It is like time and a half for Venture Brothers. But besides that, they canceled the show right in the middle of a storyline, and you can't just you can't just do that. I know that happens a lot, but like every time it happens, nobody likes that. Something like even OKKO, they got time to wrap up a storyline. Not a lot of time; they had to make a lot of changes, but they got the time they needed to wrap up the storyline.
And you
You
hate to
can't
see a
just cancel.
series. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say you hate to see a series leave, especially on something like a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I mean, it's baffling that they would do this in the middle of production of season 8. Obviously, I understand coronavirus is affecting everybody. I understand that, and there have to be sacrifices that need to be made. But like, that's a pain right there when you find out not through an official announcement, but through a tweet of someone who knows the people that made the show, implying that it was canceled. If that's how you find out, then you kind of got to wonder what is going on over at AT&T and how they're handling certain things. Because my God, that is a terrible way to find out about any show being canceled. That being said, recently, as recently as this podcast recording, as in when we're recording this right now, it was announced that by the head of HBO Max that he's been getting a lot of emails of the civil fans of Venture Brothers, which I don't know if you're seeing. I'm putting in air quotes because I'm assuming he did get a lot of very nice emails, but I wouldn't exactly call what's been going around Twitter extremely civil. Every fan base kind of sucks, but what are you gonna do about that? But even he is like, this is stupid that it was canceled. We are doing literally everything in our power to bring this show back on HBO Max. I can't tell you much, but we're really working hard to make this work. hashtag Save Venture Brothers. So I think that's the first time I've seen something quite like that.
But it does raise some questions, like if the people behind Adult Swim didn't make this decision, if the head of HBO Max didn't make this decision, who was the one that pulled the plug?
I think the reason was because right now Venture Brothers, the rights to the show streaming are exclusively with Hulu. Like it's weird. Like some shows are on Hulu and HBO Max, but some Adult Swim shows aren't. So I think it's like exclusive to Hulu for a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
they.
So the whole thing. So I can give you some insight on that because I have some more information about that. The whole thing with Adult Swim and Hulu, that was Adult Swim's fault. That was more so, instead of that being them malicious, I would say that's more so them not really reading into this whole streaming thing that everything was turning into. There's a reason. So if you look at Adult Swim's current catalog on Hulu, the only show that is on HBO Max or Adult Swim site that's not on Hulu, or that is on Hulu as well, is Rick and Morty. For obvious reasons, when they gave Hulu the streaming rights to Rick and Morty, by that time they caught on as to what exactly was going on, and they were like, we'll give you the streaming rights, but we're not giving you exclusive streaming rights. There were a lot of shows originally on Hulu, but eventually licenses ran out for a lot of those shows to be on Hulu. Like C Lab was on Hulu, Space Ghost was on Hulu, Moral Oral, what else? Tim and Eric Awesome Show. All those were on Hulu. Right before HBO Max launched, they moved off of Hulu because their licenses ran out. And now all those shows are on HBO Max. Rick and Morty being the only exception. Now, besides Rick and Morty, you'll notice all the other shows that are on there. And you'll also notice that every show that's currently on there is either canceled, was recently canceled, or is on the verge of cancellation in terms of Adult Swim. Mike Tyson Mysteries was... So before Venture Brothers was canceled, Mike Tyson Mysteries, which I'm actually going to say, honestly, might be one of the best modern shows I've ever watched. If you haven't watched Mike Tyson Mysteries, do yourself a favor and watch it. Mike Tyson Mysteries was recently announced to be canceled before Venture Brothers, actually. And that just moved on to Hulu. Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell, a show that I love and just got into. That was recently announced to be, like, basically almost canceled. Mr. Pickles is canceled. I don't know what's going on with Mama Named Me Sheriff. That's a whole other topic right there. Dream Corp LLC, another great show. No idea what's going on with that. And I think every other show was already canceled beforehand. So, yeah.
Well, continuing off that, we have some breaking news here. According to the CN Schedules Twitter, and according to them, it says here, another recording, according to Ben O'Brien, Wham City on Twitch, the Adult Swim streams have been basically laid off. Everyone got fired, even Matt Harrigan.
Yeah, that is actually legitimately a terrible thing to do. You not only are depriving people of streams, not only are you laying off a lot of people, you're doing the streams team. The streams team has been around since 2014. Streams have been a massive part of Adult Swim. They cost you almost next to nothing besides employees. Like, I obviously understand the whole layoff thing, but they really weren't eating. In fact, there's a show where a guy sells you merch for Adult Swim merch. The streams are making you money, okay? Don't pretend that they're not making a little bit of money on the side.
I love the Adult Swim streams. Like, I liked how funny the hosts of each show were, or just how cool how chill they were. Like the host of the Adult Swim, as seen as Adult Swim, he's really funny. And then there's the host of Pitch Meeting, who they give good advice to like people pitching shows.
Development Meeting is great. As Seen on Adult Swim is great. Fish Center Live, I don't know. That was like my go-to show for the quarantine, and now I don't even know what to do with that. Because if that's gone, I don't know. I really don't know. And to top it all off, they fired Matt Harrigan. Again, this is all just like basically just breaking as soon as this podcast is being recorded. But Matt Harrigan has been around with the network since basically the very beginning. He has helped shows become produced. He has provided voices for Aqua Teen, Squidbillies. I think he was a pretty major character in 12 Ounce Mouse, a few other shows too. He was in charge of streams, or I think he played a pretty big role in streams. And not only that, but Adult Swim Smalls, which is the house of a lot of great creator-driven programming, like what we mentioned before, Jack Stauber's Shop a Pop Opera and Opal. Those are both Smalls. Spooky Dreams was recently a pretty big thing. That was a small. What else? I just to give you a few. That was his passion project. So by getting rid of Matt Harrigan, you are basically depriving Adult Swim of this sort of creative vision that everyone has for it. And it really boils my blood. I think the streams is kind of what threw me getting rid of the streams, if that is the case, because again, this is all just based on information, no word from Adult Swim yet, and I don't think we're actually going to get like an official word from them. We're probably just going to get words from the hosts or people behind the scenes. If this is the case, then I'm really not looking forward to well, not that I'm not looking forward to it. I'm pretty nervous as to what's going to happen, because it's looking to become a lot more quote unquote corporate, cutting off a lot of quote unquote fat in a quote unquote logic cut. And that makes me really sad, actually.
Which I understand all of the frustration and everything around it. And wasn't like the philosophy behind Adult Swim was there are no rules outside of what we legally can't show on television.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a bad image that AT&T wouldn't want tied to their brand, even though everybody knows that Adult Swim is kind of its own entity and it doesn't reflect their corporate overlords here.
Yeah, it I can see that. It's just like that is not the way to do that at all. That is just.
And by the way, like, I know a lot of people, like, especially I don't know people in the corporate world, but I know that people in the corporate world don't like that term corporate overlord, which I'm not going to stop using it.
I mean, I don't think anyone should stop using it, because I feel like they got to stop making decisions like these before we stop calling them quote unquote corporate overlords, because that's how they're being seen, as overlords.
Controllish dictators.
As dictators, because they're making this kind of decisions. I don't know. This is dumb. This whole thing is just boiling my blood to a degree.
Yeah, it sucks.
I know. I've talked to a lot of people, by the way, behind the scenes as well. And it really sucks, because I know some of them who are getting fired, and they were really cool people. And God, did they not deserve to be fired? Also with the Adult Swim streams section, a ton of Adult Swim games people were fired too, which is a dick move also.
Yeah, like they made a lot of good games. Like
they literally did this right before the big Duck game update, which it's amazing, and I'm glad that the people who worked on it were able to work on it. But oh my God, they are just making AT&T. What are you doing?
Yeah, I was always against the AT&T Warner merger, and a lot of politicians were too. But it happened.
Yeah. I don't see why. Well, I guess like money, and was it to compete with the Disney Corporation?
there's no competing with the Disney Corporation. That's the thing.
Exactly.
The thing are you talking about specifically with HBO Max and Disney Plus?
Yeah, like the thing is, like, the execution of all these streaming services was absolutely terrible. Nobody knew what they were doing. Nobody still knows what they're doing. Contracts are everywhere. People don't know, can I watch this here? Can I watch this there? I feel like we just need to stop, disperse everything, and then start from the ground up.
Honestly, I am on board with that. And HBO Max does not stand a chance against Disney Plus. I'm sorry, but like, kind of put their foot in the grave when they couldn't figure out a Roku and Amazon Fire Stick deal by launch.
Yeah, like I feel
that's
yeah.
I don't think that's Warner Media's fault, by the way. I think I'm not completely faultless. I think there is some fault to place on Warner Media and AT&T. I think that's primarily a Roku and Amazon thing. That being said, it has been over half a year, I think. May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, about half a year. Still, we have like no updates whatsoever about that. Meanwhile, Peacock's out here. Peacock is looking better than HBO Max in this regard.
Oh yeah.
The thing is,
they were
like,
able to reach a deal. Oh my god.
The thing to me is, like, Disney, that's a big brand, and it's an umbrella. They've made it known that anything that is consumed by the Disney hive mind is now under Disney brand. Now when you think of Star Wars, you have to think of Disney. When you think of Pixar, yeah, you think of Disney. When I think of HBO, I don't think of Adult Swim and Cartoon Network. You need to come up with a big new blanket term for your streaming service that makes me think of everything that's in it. Because that's the reason I got HBO Max, was specifically for the Cartoon Network stuff. And even then, I'm very disappointed at the things that they can and cannot offer me. I wanted to watch Generator Rex.
Yeah, that I don't know what they're doing. It's so weird. It's so weird how they're handling it. HBO Max is not a great name. That being said, if you want to keep the Max name, that's fine. Don't do something like Warner Media Plus. Plus is overused.
What if they called it Warner Max?
I feel like that would
I'd
work.
be fine,
Like the Warner Media.
Much better.
Warner Media is a way bigger umbrella term. Like that could work way better than HBO. When I think of HBO, I think of B-list actors in B-list shows running their careers into the ground.
No, HBO's really good. Like they have really good shows. If any,
I don't watch a lot of HBO.
They do. They had Animals, and I actually really liked Animals. But goddamn, they really wanted to sell you that this is an HBO app first. They really wanted to sell you on that, and that is where they are faulting. Disney Plus.
Yeah,
Disney Plus put the cartoons first.
I mean, yeah, I just, it's so ridiculous. Like, and honestly, the whole entire HBO naming convention is so dumb. There's HBO Now, HBO Go, and HBO Max. HBO Now is still a thing. Oh, well, no, there's HBO, HBO Go, HBO Now, and HBO Max. HBO is gone, but instead of it being gone, it's renamed to HBO. So now you got HBO, HBO Now, and HBO Max. And it is just Microsoft levels of ridiculous naming conventions.
Oh yeah, the reason why it isn't on Roku is because they're like, oh, this is HBO, and we like Roku and Amazon. They told Warner basically, or no, they told news publications, we shouldn't allow this on the platform because regular HBO subscribers can't get HBO Max. I think they should offer all of that to HBO subscribers, and if they don't do that, we're not letting it on the They said something around those lines. Like if they call it something like Warner Max, then they wouldn't like be like, oh, it's HBO, but with premium offerings, they'd probably be more welcome to adding the app.
It's like the Wii and Wii U situation. Yeah, you're confusing your audience.
Yeah, it's like the Wii and Wii U thing, definitely.
Yeah, it is. And it's more like the Xbox thing, because you got like Xbox.
Yeah.
Because you're literally, because Xbox Series X isn't called Xbox Series X, it's called Xbox, and it's in the Series X family. So now you got the original Xbox, and then you got the Xbox Series X, and they're both called Xbox.
And now my
it
brain
is
hurts.
it is the most convoluted thing ever. I love Xbox too, but goddamn, they really need to fix their naming convention.
I mean,
But yeah,
most of the time Nintendo does, like Sony, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I know which is the latest console. Nintendo, kind of weirder, but as long as it has a different name, I can differentiate it. Like, that's where they struggled with Wii and Wii U. But Switch, yeah, that's a new console. GameCube, that's a different console. Game Boy, like, the latest Game Boy can usually play everything below it, so that doesn't really matter as much.
yeah. But actually, Sony uh, isn't like completely out of the dark yet, because they've had some pretty terrible naming conventions with their PS View and PS Now and PS TV. Which, why do you call something PS TV if you can't watch TV on it?
That's kind of weird.
That is
Yeah,
just like
it's literally a PS Vita you attach to your TV. That's literally what the PlayStation TV is.
it is. That was a terrible name. That was a terrible. I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
They could have called it the PlayStation Mini or something, or Vita Mini, or I don't know. PlayStation Mini would probably be a better name.
yeah, it is just. Well, the PlayStation Mini is a whole other.
Yeah,
Terrible,
that's a different
awful
thing. So Vita TV or something, so they know it's a Vita that you can play on. Vita
Yeah.
Home, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. It's. Oh my god, I can't believe we're talking about this now. It's just. Yeah, but I guess the main point is AT&T, get your shit together. Stop doing terrible, awful things with everything that we love.
That's a blanket statement that could be applied to near everything.
I mean, yes, that is correct, but that's also how I'm feeling right now. So just give me this, okay?
Yeah, all right.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I personally like HBO Max, but the whole handling of it, like with Roku and Amazon Stick, was bad.
I mean,
Like
it's
the
still
launch.
it's still terrible.
The whole arrangement with streaming in general is terrible. Like I said before, let's just dissolve everything, start from the ground up. Make sure
Yeah,
all
'cause-
contracts are where they need to be.
Yeah, like they could maybe. I don't know what I don't know what they do. Like
Disney had the right
one
idea.
event-
Like everything Disney related is underneath the Disney blanket, though I still want Buzz Lightyear of Star Command and the House of Mouse.
Yeah, like if the services had everything to offer from each respected studio that has a service, then there would be more bang for your buck and stuff like that. But
It would be a great deal, but they don't because people were stupid with contracts.
Yeah, it's all
Exclusivity
about-
deals. Exclusivity is kind of the biggest problem because you're promising, hey, here's this show or here's this property. You're allowed to use it for so many years until we want it back or until the contract expires.
I actually despise exclusivity, not even from a streaming perspective, but I swear to God, if I hear one more thing about exclusives on Xbox or PlayStation on Twitter, I'm legitimately like, exclusives are dumb. I think exclusives work sometimes. Obviously, I'm not expecting Nickelodeon to run Cow and Chicken. That's not what I'm expecting because Cartoon Network made the show. They own the show. That's just how it is.
Like I feel like originals can stay on their platform, but something like a third party, like Pokemon shouldn't have an exclusivity deal. That's something that you should be able to watch on near anything. Like it doesn't seem like something that should be tied to a platform.
yeah,
It's weird how that's handled. I think you're right. I think originals should be allowed to be exclusive on their network and their personal whatever streaming service they have. I think for third parties, I think there should not be such a thing as exclusive deals. unless maybe like a show is completely gone, like the whole thing with bringing shows back, like not like a reboot, but like I'm saying, if you want to keep the show like with Friends and HBO Max, I think that's fine because, you know, it's dead. It's never coming back anyway. So what's the point?
Yeah, like if a network revives, a streaming service revives a show, I think it's fine to have it be exclusive if they're funding it.
Yeah, I mean, if they're funding it, I think there's a little bit of a different kind of sort of feel to it. But like, there's just like a lot to take in with that whole thing. It's just a mess.
Yeah. Anyway, should I go over the whole Adult Swim bump thing that I made?
Yeah,
you can. Go ahead.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, well, basically, I saw that that one Karen on the internet tweeting about Adult Swim. Then I made a bump like reacting to it, and then people fell for it. And oh yeah, Dan, you retweeted on Out of Context. That's kind of that's how it got widespread. But people fell for it, and I also got DMs from people saying, well, from one person saying basically, oh, you should delete this. This might be another Adult Swim controversy. But that didn't happen, so I'm glad I kept it up.
Yo,
that was long after I did the video on that happened like right after I did the video on the I think that was after I did the video explaining the whole thing.
Yeah, I think it was. Wouldn't it be funny if like plot twist everything was happening because they saw your video?
Yeah, they're like, oh, we better
ShadeX is the catalyst for the new world.
Guys, we need to cancel Venture Brothers because this guy said that we're making things that are bad. Oh my god. Oh my god. But yeah,
oh, no,
that was a great
the
video.
Karens are after us. Better cancel it. Better cancel Venture Bros.
That was a great video. That was a great bump. Got me hooked on your content. And yeah, I'm always down to retweet Adult Swim related stuff. So if anyone out there wants free publicity, hook me up because that's my shit. But yeah, I would say that I think that I already said I think that was a very good video and tweet and bump. I think that sucks because that's really also the shining moment of like Adult Swim in the limelight for a positive reason in 2020. That and Tuca and Birdie are the only positives I can think of that happened for Adult Swim. Besides like renewing certain shows like Primal, that was cool. I mean, obviously like the whole Opal thing, that was great as well. I just think
the firing people that's not good. Like AT&T just messed up. Like really wish that merger didn't happen. Like sure, I can get free HBO Max like with AT&T, but like it's not really worth the they didn't have to lay people off. They really didn't. They didn't have to do that, but they did it for whatever reason because they didn't want to pay more people, I guess.
Like I don't even use HBO Max or not HBO. I don't even use AT&T. My mobile provider is like a card pay one.
Yeah. It just. I love Adult Swim. I think that's not hard to see based on stuff I do and stuff I say and stuff I tweet and that kind of stuff. I'll keep loving them for however long it takes, but God, I'm so nervous for the future.
Yeah, I really hope it sticks around. Like,
yeah, the future looks shaky.
Anyway, oh yeah, we can talk about on the list. There's this. I guess I'll make this a regular thing, but stuff we all watched recently.
Stuff we in the midst of chaos of the world, I decided to like go back and watch some older animes that I've watched them all before, but I was like, I'm gonna give these a rewatch, and of course they're all slice of life stuff, very calm atmosphere.
Oh, anything in particular that you liked?
Oh, I watched a lot of Dragon Maid, and then there was one that ended recently was My Next Life as a Villainess. Have you ever heard of that one?
I think I have, yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny. And oh, Konosuba. I've been watching the heck out of Konosuba again.
That I've definitely heard of. Are you watching dub or sub?
Always sub.
Oh damn. I think I'm more of a dub guy myself,
I'm a
and
very fast reader.
if you want to report me on Twitter because of that, go right
Oh,
ahead. I don't blame you.
don't worry, everybody's got their preferences.
I know.
I understand people don't read that can't read as fast and would just like to watch.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I'm also not even that big into anime, so I mean, I know of anime news, but like I just don't watch anime. It's not like I don't like it. I just like I know a lot of them need a lot of time and focus to kind of like get into, and I just don't have that time and focus to give right now. You know.
Yeah, Shade, what about you? What have you been watching?
I have been watching my parents got Amazon Prime because of the Borat movie. I watched that. I thought that was funny, the sequel. But a show I've been watching also on Amazon Prime. I finished watching it I think Thursday or Wednesday, not sure when. But I finished watching The Boys, the first two seasons. I
Yeah,
really really like that show.
yo, let's go. Ah, The Boys is amazing. Legitimately, I kind of like had a. This was completely me, by the way. I had a grudge with Amazon Prime because of how they treated the Tick, uh, their Tick reboot exclusive. Uh, and I kind of didn't want to watch anything else on Amazon Prime because I also thought that the UI was disgusting. But a group of friends convinced me to watch The Boys, and I was hooked. It was so good. I thought season two started off a little slower and a little more monotonous. I think after they got rid of the. Nope, not going to say anything. Just going to
No
not
spoilers.
mention that. But I
Yeah,
would say it definitely picked up.
yeah, season two I really like. Season one I like the mystery of it. I really like the mystery of season one. Like I get why some people say season one's better, but I really like I feel like the season one and two flow together really nicely. Like stuff that happened in season because season one ends on a cliffhanger, and season two follows that up. The ending of season two like wrapped a lot of things up, but I like the little plot twist at the end. So I'm curious about season three. There's stuff in the comics I really think will happen, which I'm not gonna say,
Oh, I haven't watched. I haven't read the comics, but
I think I know where it's going. Like now that I've seen what happens in the comics, but like the comics and the show are very different.
yeah,
So
I was about to say it. From what I've heard, I heard that the comics and the show were kind of different. So I wouldn't like put your money on too much
yeah, I'm
of
not
the
gonna put my
comics.
money on anything, but yeah, it's like very different. Like they changed a lot. Like it's basically its own show. Oh yeah, one thing I like about this show is Eric Kripke's involved. He made Supernatural, and I can tell it's an Eric Kripke show, like a more mature Eric Kripke show. Because Supernatural had the limitations. It was on network television, so like they had limitations. But this show doesn't have any limitations. Despite all that, he didn't want to get too dark. Like he wanted to have like if it's gonna go shocking, like it needs to be shocking for a valid reason. Like I read some interviews, but like it deals with mature subject matter in a great way. Like but treats it with care. It's a really fun dark comedy type show. I really like the take on how the superheroes they're dicks and now humans want to revolt against them. It's a good story. It's a good concept. I think that is executed very well.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think so too. Is it still a thing? Like, is that still a thing? What's it called? Um, Supernatural. Does that still do new episodes?
Oh yeah, that's ending like this year. I think there's like one episode left.
Has it been on for like forever?
Yeah, I dipped after the Men of Letters stuff happened. I also watched the Demon Dean like thing because there was a cliffhanger, but like that ended in an episode, which disappointed me.
That does kind of suck.
But
I don't like it.
like basically the thing that freaked out Tumblr was they made Destiel canon sort of, but not. But it was like it's like okay, spoilers for Supernatural if anyone. I don't think anyone cares, but Cassiel convinces his love for Dean, and then he dies.
I don't know who those characters are, so
Yeah, so that's fine then. But like I watched it, I really liked the first few seasons of it. The characters are pretty likable. It's even the later seasons were alright, but the only time I checked back on it again was the Scooby-Doo episode, which I loved. That was a really, really good episode. But
that I saw that episode. That was great. You're right.
Yeah, but other than that, I have not kept up with it lately. Don't really. The first 5 seasons were really good. Like that's a cohesive story. And the creator left after that. And one thing I don't really like about the later seasons is that like I've seen it stuff on Tumblr, I think Twitter. It was back when I used Tumblr, but like they basically what they do now is they like continued plot threads that were implied in season 5, which was going to be the final season, like, oh, this character might be the god of the show. And then they're like, yes, he's the god of the show, and like they like spelled it out for the audience because it was implied in the what was then going to be the final season. I don't know. I'm curious about the rest of the show, but a lot of the writers have moved on to other things. Like Eric Kripke's doing The Boys now, which is really good, and Jeremy Carver, who also worked on the show, he's doing Doom Patrol.
Oh my god, I gotta get back into Doom Patrol. I watched like a few episodes. I got like a free trial of DC Universe when it was still on DC Universe. I got into a few episodes and I was really enjoying it, and I just never continued after the free trial ended because honestly, okay, no shade or anything, no joke intended, no shade or anything, but DC Universe is kind of just like a throwaway kind of service.
I feel like it should have been packaged with HBO Max.
It's eventually going to be. Like, it's eventually all the shows are going to be moved over.
So the entire thing was worth nothing.
They already moved the shows over. Like, all the exclusives, aside from Stargirl, which is airing on the CW now. Like, aside from that, every other exclusive is on HBO Max now. All they gotta move over now are the DCAU things, like Batman the Animated Series, which is gonna be a big deal when that's on HBO Max.
I'm more looking forward to Brave and the Bold.
That too. And Justice League, Green Lantern the Animated Series. I want to see that again, because I like that. I'm watching Young Justice Season 3 since I never got to watch that since I didn't want to pay for DC Universe. I'm liking that so far.
You know that Doom Patrol is good when that is the one show of DC Universe they had at launch that they kept as an exclusive, that they had it as an exclusive. Like, that is the one show that they basically said, okay, we're taking this from you guys and we're keeping it as an exclusive at launch. We'll get to the rest of them eventually, but this is just holy crap. It's just I gotta get back into watching Doom Patrol.
Yeah, same.
What have I been watching recently?
Yes, what have you been watching?
So I just finished watching my first ever watch through of Darkwing Duck. I love it. I love it a lot. I kind of was hoping that a Darkwing Duck reboot would happen because I'd be more excited for that than DuckTales, to be honest. I'm rewatching some Simpsons stuff for that video I was working on, and I kind of want to take a break from the Simpsons after this whole thing is over. What else? I started watching Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell, which is a live-action Adult Swim show on Hulu. It is from the people behind. Um, it is from the people behind Aqua Teen Hunger Force, so it is a lot of the same humor. And I know that Adult Swim live action shows kind of have a reputation, um, but I cannot recommend this show enough. And also, I started watching Dream Corp LLC a lot as well, and that is one of, ironically enough, that might be one of the best animated shows of the decade that no one talks about. It's not even all animated yet. It when it does go animated, it goes animated hard. Like, I cannot recommend Dream Corp enough. It's all, it's from the guy. It's from Jim from The Office.
Oh.
That's the guy who made it.
Huh.
That's just like, I think that's so weird that a show this like visually stunning and psychologically and tantalizing is from Jim from The Office. That's just like a weird thought to me.
Right. Is there anything else that we can talk about? Oh, we do have all right, we got one question here. Right, questions. If you have a question, go ahead and leave it in the chat or in the Discord, which will be linked in the description. We have a question here from Manuel on Discord saying, "What's everyone's favorite food and drink?" Shade, you want to start?
Pizza, and I really like green apple Fanta, although I don't know when I'll drink it again. Soda.
Mine would probably be favorite drink. Obviously, would be Dr. Pepper. But favorite food, I always bounce back and forth between a lot of things. I like chicken sandwiches, pizza, of course. Regular burgers are fine. I really do like quesadillas. Regular tacos. Like, have you ever had like homemade tortillas?
I can't say I have, no.
Homemade flour tortillas are really good.
I think I had them once I think I had those for international foods, like my high school class. Like, we made a lot of stuff from scratch, which was cool.
Yeah, that is actually really cool. I kind of wish I did that. That sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
but I remember one time my class tried making pizza. My group tried making pizza. It got really doughy. Like that sucked. But
yeah, that
I had
does
a lot
sound
of
like
I had
it
a
would
lot
suck.
of good. Yeah, what was the best? I don't remember everything I had, but I remember it tasted good. Like noodles. I remember making noodles one. Oh yeah, egg rolls. That too. That was good.
That sounds really good. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Dan, what's your favorite food?
I gotta go with the classic. I know it's a little cliche, but pepperoni pizza, can't beat that.
Yeah.
I used to be a big soda guy, but I actually cut soda for my life basically almost entirely, and I'm actually really proud of that because I've lost a good amount of weight because of it. And I've been more into seltzer, so I'll say seltzer.
Seltzer
Yeah,
water?
seltzer's really good. Seltzer's really good. I like LaCroix, bubbly, and what else? Oh yeah, there's that ice drink where it's like flavored water that tastes just like soda, but it's got a artificial sweetener. I like that stuff. I haven't had that stuff in a while, but
Are there any downsides to that squeezable flavor, like that you can put in water bottles? Because I've been doing that a lot.
I mean, I'm sure there's like a health thing somewhere, but like, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Yeah. I put a lot of
Yeah,
that Kool-Aid flavor blast in my waters just because it's really nice and it turns my tongue blue.
oh yeah, there's a lot of good there's a lot of interesting like flavored things. Like there's orange crush flavor stuff, like A&W flavor stuff. I think it's like cream soda or something. So a lot of interesting like water like powder stuff. I think it's all sugar free too, which is good.
That does sound pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. I haven't tried. Well, I had this lemonade stuff one time. Like that was powdered. I'm not sure if that had sugar in it or not though, but it was like a strawberry lemonade thing that my mom's friend was selling, so like she just bought it to support her friend. But it was all right. Like I drank a lot. I don't think I drank it while I exercised, but like any powdered water stuff like that sugar free is usually pretty good.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good actually.
Hmm.
Yeah, I honestly think that I wouldn't be worried too much about those powdered things or like the drops or whatever. You know, I definitely think you're fine with that, personally.
Right. So, is this the end of the podcast?
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
All right. Before we close out, Dan, would you like to plug your stuff?
Yeah. I mean, so thank you very much for. Well, actually, before I do that, I just want to say, Drake, I just saw your art for the first time when the Toonami subreddit posted it just recently. It's really good.
Oh, thank
That
you.
was a really good piece of art. I loved it. But I'll talk to you more about that later, actually. So I'm Dan. I run the Dan the Man Show. Please consider subscribing. I want to try and hit 500 before the end of 2020. Hopefully this new video will put me over. I'm working on a Treehouse of Horror huge collaboration type video, etc. Shade's in it. A few other people you might know are in it. I don't want to give away too much, but we're looking at least 4 hours long. So it's going to be quite a doozy.
Wow.
So definitely consider subscribing. And I also have a Twitter. It's the Dan the Man Show. Same profile picture you're seeing on screen right now. It's hard to miss. And I also run an out of context gimmick account. Adult Swim out of context at Adult Swim No Con. There's 2 of them, so it's a little confusing, I know. Hopefully I'll still be running that. You know, maybe if I get tired I'll stop. But if you love Adult Swim and you hate AT&T, definitely consider checking it out. I post a lot of great stuff there, and I really love Adult Swim, so that's why I made it. So yeah, that's basically it from me. Oh, and I also work on a channel called Flat Zone. We're kind of quiet at the moment, but we're coming back with some pretty cool stuff. So be on the lookout for that. It's called Flat Zone, like that stage in Smash Brothers. I think that's basically it for me. So yeah.
All right. I guess that's it. Later, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.